Welcome to part 2 of this portrait. In this video I will focus more on the hair and the collar and then the final touches of the skin tone. Be sure to watch it right through till the end because here and there I'll be slowing things down in real time so you can take a closer look. So let's dive in and take a look. Just going through the outline very quickly. I'm using the CarbOthello 708 grey pencil. I'm using an alignment, vertical alignment to find these points where the hair is and just see it as sort of shapes and rhythm with the hair. So don't focus too much on the detail. Now with the clothes here, I'm just guessing it to start with, using that vertical plane again to find the location of these things, but then just really relax and use imaginary angles to find the location of each one of these areas on this collar. I tend to take my time with this as well to make sure that these points are accurate enough that I'm not going to have to move it around too much when I start putting the underdrawing in. These are the colours I'll be using for the collar. Just going to ghost the image to start with the Faber-Castell kneadable eraser and then start off with the white. So you put in your highlights in first, putting more pressure on where it's lighter, less where it's mid-tone. So all you're doing is getting a basic structure and you're correcting the outline. So this is your chance just to keep loose and just to be free-flowing with it. But you're trying to create a little bit of form by just using the grey and the white and a little bit of a blue-grey just to create the shapes. And each stage makes the next stage easier. So doing this in preparation will make it so much easier when I start putting the rich colours on later on in this video. Now here I'm just revisiting what we did in the part 1 of this video. Just a bit of skin tone here, using white to shape up the form first, then the yellow ochre, warm red, desaturating the red with olive green, putting texture in with the white, then blending with a cotton bud, and then putting the richer colours of the Caran dash in there, and then generally just sort of flowing through with it. But it's all in the part 1, what I did in there, so if you want to recap on that, please check that out. Now for the underdrawing for the hair, just going through this quick for you again, so I've given me more time for the rich colours and the details later on in this video. So I'm using the white first to structure the actual flow of the hair. So I'm changing the outline that I've done slightly just to correct it, try and get that form, get the direction of the hairs in, just using basic colours like brown and white to start with. I use the pencil on a vertical plane to find the direction or the edge of one shape against another shape on the face. So that's how I get the location. And then I just fill in, but I just quite loose with it. Try and make it as accurate as possible so I don't lose myself in it when I start putting the colours. But if you can just relax and go with the flow and feel the energy of the hair, because it has a rhythm to it, you can then glaze over them with burnt sienna and yellow ochre just to give a little bit of colour. So you've just got the basic idea there for when I start putting all the rich colours on. You've got your map and you can just really enjoy putting all those really rich, vibrant colours in. Here's the colours for the rich colours: CarbOthello's, Conti Paris and Caran dash colours. Well, starting off with the dark value to start with, so using brown and burnt sienna. And then just reshaping things with the brown, glazing over with the burnt sienna, adding the highlights with flesh tint actually from the Caran dash range 042, and that creates like a chroma to it. So it's just plain really to start with. You just got to start on one area. That's what I tend to do, and adding a little bit of lemon yellow, which creates more chroma as well. So I'm playing around, trying different things to work out what works and what doesn't. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do ginger hair, to get that sort of lively, realistic look without it looking flat. So I'm just experimenting, seeing what works, trying different things, and then just open to change. If you enjoy this video, why not subscribe? It's absolutely free, and then you're sure not to miss my future videos. Just slowing down to real time so you can see what pace I work out. Just preparing all the rich colours. It is a blocking still. The details will be put on later on in the video, but it's just a case of just getting those rich colours in. I'm using that flesh tint again because it's like a yellow ochre mix and it creates really a vibrant colour through the glaze I put over the top. Now I like to work on several areas, so I'm going backwards and forwards, just making an overall feeling correct first. So I like to put the details in when I know the value and the chroma is more than what I'm looking is more to what I'm looking for. So I'm backwards and forwards. So it's like a blocking to start with, and then you go more and more with details. Now for the wisps of the hair, I'm using the same pencil again, which is like a flesh tint. All it is yellow ochre and a bit of warm red with it. And then using the edge of the point of it. So I've used a knife to sharpen it with, and you just keep turning the pencil to get another edge. And then I'm just going over with burnt sienna, but I rubbed it with my finger here. So, but you can easily rub it off with this Faber-Castell rubber. It's amazing rubber to have in your kit, and then just go over it again. So you just be loose with it and free flowing. I'm not trying to do it exactly the same as reference. I'm just trying to create a spontaneity with it and a flow with these wisps. Now it's for the details. Now I blocked in with the rich colours, but it's too vibrant. It needs to be going over with the complementary colour. So it's more of the reddy colour, the burnt sienna. So I'm using dark green here to desaturate it, and it creates those subtle greys that's in the hair, and it makes it look natural rather than trying to use brown to make it darker or black. So using a complementary colour is always the best way to go. Just like to take this opportunity to thank all my patrons for all their wonderful support every month. I can't thank you enough. It means the world to me. If you're considering joining me on Patreon and would like the benefit of longer, slower and more in-depth videos, please check out the link in the description below this video and it'll send you straight there. Most of the videos I put on Patreon now are all in real-time audio and video, so you get more of a flavour to my technique step by step. Just slowing it down in real time now, just to show you how I'm using the cotton bud here. Just very, very slightly putting that pressure on, turning the cotton bud to get a fresh area here and there, and then just get a sense of it blurring into the background there, so it's nice and soft. You don't want any sharp edges. Now with the final details, I'm just keep standing back, having a good look at it from a distance, and then just putting wisps of hair here and there, and getting an overall balance. A little bit of glint makes all the difference, and also subtling those rich colours with the green to create more of a desaturated look. Now for the colour, these are the colours I'll be using for the rich colours and glazing with the primaries there. So you've got to start somewhere and you've just got to try and find a pencil in your kit that's a similar colour, and then what I'm doing here is glazing over a lemon yellow and blue to create that greeny feel to it. And that's all I'm doing really, is just trying to find which pencil is better suited. So you just have to play with the pencils you've got in your kit, whatever brand you have, and then just glaze over them with the red, blue and yellow once you've got a similar sort of value grey that you can use. That's what I tended to do here, but I'm trying a little bit of brown here with blue to see what that does. So I'm experimenting and then using that sort of cotton bud there just to soften things up. And then once you've done that, it's a case of putting that texture back in, because everything's got a little bit of a texture and nothing's really smooth like plastic. So you just need to sort of really experiment with how it feels, trying to get that sort of satiny feel to it. Now to help me get that really vibrant highlight, I'm using a Rembrandt white here. It's called soft white, but it really makes the difference because it's really sort of rich in pigment, and then when I glaze over the top, that shines through and that'll give that glistening feel to it eventually. If you're enjoying this video, why not give it a like and share it with your friends? It would mean so much to me because this would help the channel to grow. Now, there's a tendency to get overwhelmed if you're not careful when you're doing things like this because it's quite, complex. What I tend to do just to relax is to bring the reference image into my heart and paint it from inside my heart and don't feel as though I'm outside of myself with tunnel vision. So I'm not staring at it, trying to get every little detail in with blinkers on. I'm bringing the reference image into my heart, and that sort of connects me to the whole portrait as well. So you're more sensitive to it. So it's a really good idea, and it's a good way to keep calm and relax when you're doing things like this. Just keep persevering and just keep going and going and going. There's a point where you think, oh, this is not working, and you can get disheartened. But I've found if you keep going and persevering and keep trying different things and keep going with it, eventually it comes into what you're looking for. So just have faith that it will change and it will get more and more realistic. What makes all the difference is when you put these subtle glazes over using the primary colours. These are the colours here I tend to use. It just creates that sort of real colour harmony over the greys that you've done. It just makes all the difference. Now for the final touches on the hair then. Very light pressure. Now I use a knife to sharpen the point and it creates an edge so I can keep turning the pencil and it finds another edge. So using the side of the pencil to create the lines. And it's surprising how fine you can get the lines doing it that way. And it's just varying the pressure, pressing on a little bit more where it's darker and not so much where it's just a fine line. I'm using that Caran Dash flesh tint again just for that rich highlight. Just a little dot here and here just makes a difference. Now, if you want to know more about how I use complementary colours to create shadows, especially in skin tones, I've got a free class for you. You're welcome to it. The link is in the description below this video. So if you're interested in that, you're welcome to it. So please check it out after the video. Now, at this stage of the portrait, what I'm doing is looking in the mirror a lot. So I'm looking over my shoulder at the reflection and seeing what needs doing. So in here, the value needs to be changed on the edges of those folds there. So getting an overall feeling of it and then just going around the portrait here and there. What I'm looking for is a feeling of oneness. So I'm not focused on any one bit of detail. It's almost though the energy of the person you're sensing. So I'm trying to make it balanced. So I'm not putting too much detail in. So if there's too much details, I'm softening it. And I'm just adding those little touches here and there that makes all the difference. It'll create a feeling of oneness. That's basically what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to create a replica of the reference image as well. It's my interpretation and it's just a suggestion of detail here and there. It's a case of simplifying the details to create more of a sort of energetic feel to it. It's hard to put in words, but that's what I tend to do. Skin tone again, just putting those final touches to the shoulder there. Just add in that white, small circles, then glaze over with the red. And you've got to look at the temperature, it's a bit cooler there, so I'm adding that bit of blue. And then just keep working on it until you're happy with the results, really. Well, that's the end of the portrait then. Thank you so much for watching the video right till the end. I really appreciate it. Been a fascinating one to do. I love these side poses with the glowing skin and the rich ginger hair. Always a treat to do. And also the collar was quite fascinating as well. Now, if there's any questions at all, please leave a message in the comment section below this video and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. In the meantime, if you would like to see any more of my work, please check out this video here. Take care, bye.